All right, we're live again, Facebook people. Blind Justice on the streets of Aberdeen, Washington. Still standing outside of City Hall here. Whoop, on the right. You see it, Lily?
No.
All right, City Hall. We did a... What's that?
We have food.
Yeah, we got some. Okay. Thank you. All right, so yesterday we had the chance to interview the mayor a little bit in the steps of City Hall, Mr. Eric Larson. And there's a YouTube video we have on our YouTube page, Blind Justice YouTube page, and that video may be posted here on the Facebook page. If it hasn't been posted already, it'll be posted shortly. But in the video, Eric says that he's not a constitutional scholar, and he says that the city council members aren't constitutional scholars. And I've heard that same attempt of a defense from some of the law enforcement officers that they're not constitutional scholars and that they need to leave it up to the courts. Well, the issue with that is, and the issue of saying, well, I need to refer to my legal counsel, is that legal counsel may have taken an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution, and they probably have, but that doesn't, you can't just pass on your personal oath. So the mayor took a personal oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. Every law enforcement officer, every military member, all the city council members took a personal oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. Right? So it's a personal oath. So do they take personal responsibility, or do they defer their responsibility to legal counsel? Do they defer the responsibility to somebody else's research, as Tani said in her interview that I had with her? And she looked at somebody else's research. So she's not, it doesn't sound like she's taking her oath personally, that she is personally looking at the Constitution, because she said she didn't. Eric said he didn't as well, but then a few minutes later, he in the same conversation says that he did, but there's some vagueness in that, because he said he referred to legal counsel. But we, had a copy of the Constitution on us that Lily's been learning and highlighting and taking notes, and she handed him her notes from just the last few days. Lily's 10, so now I'm going to ask her to flip the camera to her, as I ask her a couple questions about the Constitution to see, if the 10-year-old has a basic grasp, or if you need to be a constitutional scholar to understand, basic language that was written for the people. So, Lily, what is the purpose of the Constitution of the United States?
To limit the power and control of the government.
And?
To empower the people.
To empower the people, right. It enumerates the freedoms, okay? Now, what about these ordinances that passed last Wednesday night? What did they do?
They limit the control, power, and freedom of the people and empower the government.
Okay, now, do those ordinances seem to be in conflict with the Constitution?
Yes.
They seem to be opposite, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if there's a conflict within laws, whether it be a local law, a state law, a county law, even federal law, with the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution, right? Because Article 6 of the Constitution, Clause B, says that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. If there's a conflict between the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, and any other level of law, like the local ordinances, which one wins? The local law or the Constitution?
The Constitution.
The Constitution wins? Why?
Because it's the supreme law of the land.
Yeah, it's the supreme law of the land, right? It's the highest level. So Lily seems to have a basic, you can flip it back to me, seems to have a basic grasp of the Constitution, right? A 10-year-old that understands constitutionality. You don't have to defer to legal counsel. Lily, you can understand this in plain English, that the Constitution is set up to limit the control and power of the government, and to empower the people, to enumerate the many rights that we have. And these local ordinances do just the opposite. They limit your freedoms, they limit your rights, they strip power from the people, and they take that power and empower the local government. So, pretty basic, right? We don't even have to cite how all the different ways it violates your rights, but we could, right? And so if anyone's interested in that, we can go ahead and post some stuff on that, on the different ways that these ordinances violate you and your rights if you happen to be living in this area in Aberdeen or just passing through and you want to take a rest Well, you're rolling the dice if you want to sit down on the sidewalk to rest, because the government is trying to take more power and take your freedom to sit down. Is there a comment?
Yep.
What is it?
Elsa Vanden
Mm-hmm.
Someone needs to explain to the mayor that panhandling is a protected activity under the first.
Yes. So the panhandling, like we talked about in previous videos, or solicitation, right? You're using your voice to ask for something, even holding a sign to ask for something is free speech, right? You're free to make a sign and free to use your speech to ask for help. It's free speech, First Amendment protected right. And that's been ruled on several times in different places, and so that's the thing that we're trying to find is the exact case laws. It's sad that you have to show the local governing officials where other governing officials had to say, had to get a court and a judge and go through all this circus to get a ruling on what is constitutional, when my 10-year-old understands basic constitutionality, right? You don't have to go through all this. You can use common sense, right? That's why the preamble is, we hold these truths to be self-evident, right? So maybe I think our famous quote, "Common sense is dead." Maybe that is holding some weight here in local government. Maybe maybe we just need to, some more understanding, some more education. So hopefully this will help. So share it, share the love, share the understanding, share peace, and Deo Presso Liber. We are going to move location from City Hall, probably going to Wishka and H. So we'll post a location update. But thank you guys.
We have food. Come join us.